We got one more special guest who actually kind of sauntered up here. I didn't see him until just a minute ago, but we have to bring him up. He's one of the stalwarts here. He comes here every year. Homer Hickam, noted and best-selling author and speaker, author of course, Rocket Boys and quite a few books beyond that. And Homer, thanks very much for taking the time. You've got a little bit of experience in launching rockets like this.
Yeah, I do, but they've gotten so much more sophisticated over the years. These rocket girls and rocket boys are also vastly more sophisticated and have a great background, more than we did back in West Virginia. But, you know, they've got the same spirit and the same drive and perseverance. I've already been around looking at a few of the teams. What a beautiful day that Huntsville is giving them today. And I'm sure glad to see the student launch back here in Rocket City, USA, where it belongs, and I hope it stays here.
So you mentioned some of the technology. Can you do a little bit of a comparison between some of the rockets that you first launched many moons ago in West Virginia to the ones that you're seeing here today?
Well, the advice that my mom gave me back in West Virginia really held to us in that she said, "Don't blow yourself up." There was always a not a high probability, but at least some probability that we were actually going to blow ourselves up, because we were mixing our own propellant and building everything out of steel tubing that was meant for coal mining rather than rockets. But ultimately, we were able to build some pretty sophisticated rockets, but you still had to back off at least half a mile from them, because we didn't know exactly what was going to happen. These are much more controlled, thank goodness, and the teams are, again, they're much more sophisticated, and their approach is careful with safety in mind, but ultimately the fun is the same. When you push that button, something is going to happen, and that is part of the fun.
Well, as long as the pointy end goes up, we're pretty happy about that one.
Exactly. I just got back from Australia. I was down there for Thunder Down Under, and a couple of the teams I wasn't so sure about, so I went around putting close to the nose cone. I had an arrow that said this way up, and then an arrow down at the bottom that says this gets very hot. So just in case they had forgotten that.
Yeah, the business end of the rocket points down.
Please,
all right, Homer Hickam, best-selling author. Thanks for joining us for, of course, right here at Marshall, and former engineer at the Marshall Space Flight Center.
Well, it's again, it's right where it belongs. Let's keep it here.
Awesome. Thanks very much.